So, boys, stay tuned. There's a Gavaldiga podcast. Rabbi Steve Geller does a Gavaldiga Zach, and that'll be coming out this week. Torah Giants on Chumash. Shalom Uvrach, and welcome to the weekly piece on the Parsha from Torah Giants on Chumash, written by Rabbi Rabbi Goodman, the Rabbi Emeritus of Yunus Rockaway. Sit back and enjoy. I want to take a moment to thank our wonderful Steve and Ariel Geller generously sponsoring the Zech Nishmas. Ariel's grandfather, Shlomo Ben Esther, Alav Shalom, the Heilig and Hashem Shemizocha B'schus, the Torah of the Rabbim this evening. Shemizocha through a tremendous and continuous Aliyas and Neshama, and Gan Eden, Shamayla, Mechayla, Chayla, Met Hashem. That's all. Givaldig Ashkocha that HaRav Stephen is sponsoring. I'd like to begin tonight with a Givaldig Rishushan Ashtapoya that Rav Steve and I discussed. It's on his podcast, Torah Giants, Rabbi Goodman's Givaldig book, and you can find it on the Steve Geller podcast, Baruch Hashem Givaldig Zach. So just like to start with that tonight, but then we're going to transition into another Nakuda. The very outset of this week's Parsha, with Siyata Nishma, we turn to Vayetzei. And what happens? Yaakov Avinu lies down after 14 years of not sleeping. Different Mefarshim Avada. He dozed. He didn't really sleep. He didn't actually go to lie down and sleep when he was learning in the Yeshiva Shem and Efer. But either way, he has a fantastic dream of the Sulo Mutzav Arza Rosh Megir Shemayim. And then Yaakov Avinu in Pasuk Tezayin awakes from his dream, and Vayikatz Yaakov Mishnaso. He wakes up from the dream of Rabbi Yochanan Mishnaso. Avayomer, and what does he say? After seeing such a glorious vision, you have the Sulam Mutzavarsa, the Malachi Elokim Olam Yordabo. He says, surely I knew that there was Hashem Makom Hazeh, Anochi Lo Yadati, Avod Va'anochi Lo Yadati, but I didn't know. So Rashi fills in the blanks based on the Medrash Haggadah, Yerushalmi Megillah as well, Per Gimel Lache Gimel. What's Anochi Lo Yadati? Dahainu my nafkamina. So Rashi and the Sisser Chama fills in the blanks. What's an nafkamina? Whether he knew or whether he didn't know. Shem Yadati, because had I known that Yashati B'Mokum Kodesh Kazeh, I never would have went to lie down in such a holy place. And we mentioned Rachaim Yaakov Govach Roshiva Kermiam. They always used to cite this pasuk in Rashi to highlight that Yaakov Avinu was the first misnagid. How do we know it was the first misnagid? Because a chassid would awaken up and said, "Wow, Givaldik, what a vision!" Rabbi say, "Machal L'chaim, let's go ahead, bring the meat board, bring the sushi to the table. Let's have a L'chaim, it's a Givaldik, a Malkum Kodesh. Let's do a shtick of Rakina, we'll do a dance." Yaakov Avinu, the first misnagid, says, "I face me. It's a Malkum Kodesh. How can I lie down in such a place? How's it shaykh that I went to lie down in a place of Kedusha?" The Yashos Shechina, Yaakov Avinu is the first misnagid, and parenthetically you would add, that's why you can walk away from the well-known Gemara and Sukkah Chalchesam and Aleph, different approaches. The Gemara says Yochanan Matzaka was the greatest of Hillels, was the lowest of Hillels, 80 Talmidim. Rabbeinu Gershom learns, we're talking about the Emtsoim, but the pastas of the Sugya and Sukkah Chalches, the lowest Talmud was Yochanan Matzaka. How low was he? Well, he knew Kol Torah Kula on his fingertips, forwards and backwards. Ba'al Yerushalmi, Midrashim, Chulei Torah Sanigla, Torah Sanistar, Sichas Ofa, Sichas Ilona, Sichas Malachi Hasares, everything in Istar, he had it all in his fingertips. In fact, the Gemara, the obvious kasha, if that was the lowest of the 80, how great was the greatest on Yonas and Nazil, Kol Ovsha Parech Olav, Meya Nisraf, any bird that would fly over immediately got consumed. So Rashi learns the sugya. Well, the Malachim are made out of Aish, and they were so interested in the Torah of Yonas and Nazil, then any bird that flew through their airspace was instantly consumed. That's how Rashi learns. Taisus doesn't learn that way, citing the Medrash Legabi Elishim and Avuya. Taisus is clearly learning that when you had Rolazar and Yeshua, and they were learning, getting to that lofty madrega of Kinnesinasa, that if you enjoy the Simcha Satira Kinnesinasa Mamish, then you could bring down the Aish, the same way fire accompanied Mountain Torah. Anytime you're learning on that madrega of Kinnesinasa, you bring down the Aish, and that's how the Ramchal seems to learn in his Derech Hashem. That's how Rav Shlomo Alkovitz learns in the Shor Shisha Megillah Shor. That's how Rav Gedalia Yeshua learns in Or Gedayo. And the Yom Shavuos is the Darga of Kinnesinasa, a Gevaldig Simcha. So you bring down the Eisha Torah Mela that burnt up the birds. He says, you have a Hasidish Yid. You see the Bali Ataisis, they're all learning like the Hasidish Mahalach. Wow, Gevaldig. You see the birds burning up as Yonas and Nazil is sitting and steiging over his Gemara. You say, wow, look at the Eisha Torah Moiridik Rabbi Say, the fire of Torah. He says, that's how Chassid walks away from the Gemara. Look, we're burning up the birds. Gevaldik, look at the koach of Torah Kadosha. And the Mesnagid looks at the Gemara and says, Rabbi say, whose bird did you burn up? Yechai ben Ezekiel. Chatzi Nezek Sholim. You burnt up somebody's bird. And the Yekel looks at the Gemara and says, Rabbi say, what a mess. Who's going to clean it up? Who's going to clean it? And the Amoritz looks at the Gemara, Psachim Amtes and Reis, and says, well, tell me at least, was it medium? Was it well done? Was it rare? How old did you cook it? How much did the fire consume it? Tell me, was it done 550? Is prime bistro, is tradition? Tell me, how'd you cook the meat? So different ways of approaching the Gemara. Different ways of looking at Yaakov, look at the Misnagid that he was. I am yadati, lo yashanti. I would never go to sleep in such a place. Kedusha. That's the Bechir Shabavas. That's the Aloka B'Tachtoinim. That's the one that corresponds to Kel HaKadosh. That's Harashi. That's Pshuto Shemikra. How could I sleep in such a place? Along comes Rav Shimshon Rosh Tapoya, our favorite Makubal and Itzutze Shamshin, and he says, Achen Yesh Hashem Gazeh. Yaakov says, look, I'm learning Torah Sanister. Now, how do you knew Torah Sanister? Because that's what he was learning. It just came for 14 years. What was he learning in the Yeshiva Shemenever? Yes, Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky and Emerson Yaakov in the beginning of this week's Parshas Vayetzei and Achamul again in the beginning of Vayeshev. Lamed Zayin pasuk Yud ben Zakunim ben Chokim Chumash Shalom Rabbi Yeshiva Shem Eiver Masalo. He was learning Torah Sagolas, but we have the Ramban already Rishonim and the Baal HaTurim at the outset of Vayeshev. He was learning Torah Sanister. He was learning Sisrei Torah, Ramozim and Sisrei Torah. So he knew Sisrei Torah. So let's go to Ma'aseh Merkava. Ma'aseh Merkava, the beginning of Sefer Yechezkel, the vision he had of the glorious chariot of the Ribono Shel Olam. And we have in Perek Yud pasuk Gedalit of Sefer Yechezkel. What did he see? He saw what you have in the Ma'aseh Merkava. What are the four corners of the Merkava? You have the Adam, you have the Kruv, you have the Aryeh, and you have the Nesher. So Yaakov says, Achein Roshei Teva Zok the Heilige Reb Shimshon, Aleph Chof Nun, Aleph the Aryeh, the Chof the Kruv, the angel, the cherub, and the Nun, the Nesher, the eagle. I knew they were on the chariot, the Ma'aseh Merkava, but I didn't know who's the Adam. Anoichi lo yadati. What's Anoichi? Osios Achein. But now we're adding the Yud. Who's the Yud? Yaakov, because Chul and Tzadi Aleph on the base in the Midrashim. Sai over here, Apron and Breisha Shrav, and again in Bamidbar Rabba. Who's the Demusta Yukno of Yaakovinus Chakuka Tachaski Se'akovet? The Tzura, the Demusta Yukno of Yaakov is attached to the Kisei Kovet. See, Yaakov says, until I saw the vision and I saw the Malachim going up, Achein, I knew there was an Aleph, I knew there was an Aryeh, I knew there was a Kruv, I knew there was a Nesher, but I didn't know Yud, I didn't know Yaakovinu was part of the Merkava. Now he sees, the Demus Adam on the Merkava is none other than Demus to Yukno of Yaakovinu himself. That's Anochi Yadati. So we could be Mosef Antar Shushan Astapolya. Achein is what Aryeh Kruv Nesher. It's all out of order. The Hainu Yaakov wasn't zeicha to a clarity. Anochi Yadati. Remember, he's lying down. He's lying down and he has a vision. What does he see? Mamash, the sequence is Geshmak. What does he see? First he sees, of course, the Aleph, the Aryeh. Why? Because the Aryeh, we know, is Chagigi base on base, is the Melech Shevachayis down here. So first he sees the Aryeh. Now we're working our way. We're going in ascending order until he gets to the Kisei Kovet. So what do you see down here? The lion, the king of the jungle. Aryeh Melech Shevachayis, that's the Aleph. Now it goes in sequence. Nur, what's the Melech Shevaofos? Nachamo Chagigi base on base, the king of the birds, the Maral B'Kamadukti. We know the birds are the most ruchniistic creature because they can uplift and elevate themselves above and beyond the world of Chumriyus, of Artzius, of Gashmius. They're flying above the world. So you have the Melech Shebachayis, then you move up to the Nun, the Melech Shebaofos, then you get to the Kruv, and then Yaakov sees Yud, Lebasof, that's Yaakov, who's higher even the Malachei Elyon, higher than the Srafim, the Ofanim, the Chayas HaKodesh, higher than all the cherubs, than all the Kruvim. It's Keshmak, Achein, it's Aryeh, Kruv, Nesher, it's all out of order. Yaakov now, not only does he see Yaakov, but he sees it with a Hazai Clarkite, that I see an Aleph, the Aryeh, then I get to the Nesher, then I get to the Kruv, and then I get to Yaakov, the Musti Yukar, Tachaski Sekovet, even higher in the Olamat Silus than all the Malachei Elyon. Arkan Rishushash to put you with our humble Hosafa. Now Rabbi Sai, as a shtickle makabapata, she needs a beer. It's so for we're learning Pshuto Shemiko and not holding an inone Kabbalah in Lanu Chilik Benestoris. Is Torah Madarke Hashem Haniglo Slon of Haneno. And the Torah starts saying, Rabbi Sai, how do you understand this? Hacheni Yeshashon Kaza Anochi there. What didn't he know? Anochli Yadati, Rabbi say Rashi told us, very based on Mary's Runa Chazal, he was so Zeichada, he had Kvitza Saderach, the Eibishter was Makapel the Haaretz, brought in the Mokam HaMikdash, miracle after miracle is occurring. He came back Davka to this place, because this is where Avram the Zaidi David, this is where Yitzchak the Tati David. He knew this is a holy place. What's the new Chiddush, Yaakov? Anochi Yadati. L'chari, you came to this place because you knew this is the Mokam that was filled with Ashos Shechina. The Eibishter is doing miracles for you. Avram and Yitzchak, the other Sakinushim, they davened here and they got answered. So what's the Chiddush? Anochi Yadati. So I saw in Rav Avram Yisrael Rosenthal's Gemaldige Sefer, the Madura Basar too. As Motzei Shol Rav, he has the second Madura titled B'Sholo Lo Yachsar. So he cites Rav Mordechai Shlomo Berman from the Rosh Yeshiva Saponovich, who asked this very kasha. Didn't Yaakovino go b'davka at this makom because it was the makom of Tefillah of Avram and Yitzchak? Who bevadei lo lechina b'achrova. So why did Avram and Yitzchak? Avada they knew was a makom kodesh. That's why they came davka to this place. And Rashi told us it was Kvitza Sadarach getting to this place. And the Eibishter showed him makom hamikdash. She was makapel the Haaretz miracle. This is clearly a place of kedusha. So what's going on over here? Zogt Mordechai Shlomo Berman Gemaldik Yesod Godol Amanu Kan. What's his vart? He says, Lo dai lodem b'yadia. Avada yada yadia. Avada, he knew that this was a holy place. And Avada, the Semilach Sam Sefer says, why is it Ladori Doris called Akedas Yitzchak? It was the 10th and sign of Avram. So why do we refer to it as Akedas Yitzchak? Sam Sefer? Because in a sense, it was a much greater sign for Yitzchak. Why? When all is said and done, HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke to Avram Avinu. If the Navi gets spoken to by the Shem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so he knows he's got to do it. He knows he's got to carry it out. The Chiddush of HaKadosh Yitzchak is Yitzchak says, I'm ready and willing, Mukhar Mazun, to offer my life. The Eibishter didn't speak to me. It's Ach V'Rak Yamunus HaChamim. I'm just doing it because of my leave in Avram Avinu. So in the end of that, I can believe, but it's still not the same. We mentioned Ramari Levin used to have a Chavrusa Sham this afternoon with his Eishes Chayil. They were learning the Haftarah of every week's Parsha. And we mentioned back Parshas Vayera. What's the Haftarah? The whole story of Isha Shanamis. So many years without a child, comes Elisha, gives her a bracha. What do you want? You're taking such good care of me. The hostess with the mostess, I got to give you a bracha. Gives her a child, lo and behold, a little while goes by, the child dies. This is the bracha that you gave me. So they send after, she says, I'm going back to find Elisha. I got to bring him back. He's got to do Tchis HaMeis. So what happens? We look at the Haftarah. Now we have an Haftarah, Kan Mesayim Masfardim. The Sfardim stop right here. In the middle of the Maisa, she goes, and then we, the Ashkenazim, go to the end of the Maisa. Elisha comes back and he does a fantastic miracle, Tchis HaMeis, and he brings the dead child back to life. Frekta, the Rebbetzin Ramai Levin, says to her husband, I don't understand the Ashkenazim, they know how do you get to the end of the story. What's Pshat? Kan Mesayim Masfardim. What are you ending off in the middle? We didn't get to the punchline. We didn't get to the best part. Can you imagine? It's like the little kid, what's going to happen next in the movie? Well, just be quiet, wait to the end. Sefarim say, no, we're done. Sefarim, you're done. We didn't get to Tchis HaMeis yet. We didn't get to the end of the story. Rambam says it's a Gevaldige Kasha. And I got a better teretz. You know what the teretz is? The Ashkenazim, we don't have such great Amunus Chachamim all the time. So we got to wait to the end. I don't really think Elisha's going to be able to bring this child back. When I see it, seeing is believing, then I'll believe it. When Elisha comes back and he brings the child, lies on him, and breathes 7 times, the child sneezes, oh, the Chamakik, then when I see it come back to life, then I'll believe it. The Sfardim say, I don't need to wait. Kan Mesayim Masfardim. Why? Because that's the Amunus Chachamim of the Sfardim, Dr. Maya Levin. If she went to get Elisha Novi and he's going to be on his way, it's already a done deal. That's it. If Elisha's coming, the child's already alive. It didn't happen yet. I don't need to wait for it to happen. That's the Amunus Chachamim of the Olam Sfardim, the Kavod Torah of the Olam Sfardim. That's it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So Yaakov knows it's going to happen. In the end of the day, Havada, if Avram Avinu daven here and Yitzchak daven here, Havada, I know big things are happening. So what's the Chiddush? Dr. Mordechai Shlomo Berman. Havada, he knew it intellectually. This is not Emunah Ba'alma. As we said many times, the Maisur Keach, you have the Rambam begins and say from Mitzvah source, Mitzvah Aleph, Emunah Ba'Hashem, Shenamar Nochi, but that's Mitzvah Aleph. How does he begin his magnum opus, the Mishnah Torah, and how does he close in Nachmol and Sefer Malachim, and Ilchas Malachim, Zok the Rambam Yesoda, Yesod Zvanchos, Leida Sheyesham Matzarishan, V'yadatem Ki Yeneshel Gecha. You can have an Emunah, but Yadi is mamish knowing, seeing is believing. That's V'yadatem Ki Yeneshel Gecha. That's why the Ramchal begins, is Derech Hashem, putting together the Rambam Rambam's Lashon, the Sefer Mitzvahs, and the Rambam's Lashon in the Yad. And what does he say? Yesod because lahamin v'leida sheisam. He says avada. He says intellectually I knew it, and I knew it the Moshe, I believed it. But anochi yadati zok Yaakovinu, I believed it. But anochi, but I never saw it yet. I wasn't zeicha to it. I know it's a holy place. Zok Berman, it's a holy place because Avram got in Yitzchak. But how do I know I'm not there? Maybe I'm not on that madrega. I'm not necessarily on that madrega. How do I know I'm going to be zeicha to tap into that? I knew it intellectually, but anochi leyadati, I didn't necessarily taste it. Now that I tasted it, now I'm ready to say Achen Yeshua, because that's a Mordechai from the Rosh Yeshivas upon him. Rabbi Feiner Feiner, maybe we can add on the following. Why is Yaakov Nispol? In the end of the day, Rabbi said Yitzchak Avinu knew. Even according to our Berman, it should have been a Yediyah Buru Mochletes. If this is a Makom Kodesh, the Makom Kodesh. But what did we come off? Why did he run away? To be Mekayim, not only to get married, he had go to get married. That's not going to be until he makes his way to Chara. Right now, he was running away from Esav to be Mekayim, the separate Tzivui. Hence the Vayetzei, the famous Beis Halevi, the Duvna Magid, and Rav Henach, the Torah Tamima B'chulei. They all say the same. Shikha Vayetzei. He had a reason for going. That was to be Makayim Tzivoy off, keep it off, to get married. But Vayetzei was what? And that's Pashas Vayetzei. He's leaving to do what? To get away from the miscreant and nefarious Esav, and thus to be Makayim the Tzivoy, benifrad of Kiyum of Kibara Aim. And to listen to Urka leaves. Now, why is he so worried? Because Sof Kosov, he knows here's the Yeshemes, and he did a Maisa Sheker. Einechnami, he was justified in Avada Rivka Rochera, but Sof Kosov. Now, what did he say? When he did his Maisa Sheker, Vayovo Aviv, let's flip back to Parshas told us. Vayomer Avi, Vayomer Hineni, Miatabani, who are you? Kazot Yaakovinu the Yeshemes, Vayomer Yaakov Aviv, Anochi Esav V'charecha. I am Esav. What a lie. What a sheker. Anochi Esav. Frek the Malbim. How could the Yeshemes lie? Avad many tirutzim. L'shem Shemayim. Sometimes sheker. He could be Mashanim. He had a right to go and be Mashan over here. In the end of the day, Zuk the Malbim. He didn't really lie. Why? Why ask the Malbim? Didn't he say Ani Esav b'charecha? I am Esav. He didn't say Ani. Why? The difference between the Shemus and the Dofam Ani Anochi is. Ani is that's the core me. That's the real identity. Anochi is who I am pretending to be. Anochi what? Vayomer Yaakov Alaviv. He said what? Vayomer Hineni. What's Hineni? Hinei Ani. Hinei Ani. So now, if he said Miyat Abani, Vayomer Yaakov, he said Ani. I said, no, he didn't say Ani. Zok the Malbim, he said Anochi. This isn't my Ani. I'm only putting on the facade of an Esav. That's my Anochi, but it's not the real me. I'm not answering Ani. He say Anochi, it's not the real me. Zok Yaakovinu Lefini is daiti. And in the end of the day, the real me, I know it's a holy place, like Arkasha. Ani Yadati. But what doesn't he know? Anochi Yadati. Maybe I'm not Zoichet to get to the highest level. Why? Because I faked my father Yitzchak. I faked him out when I said that Anochi Esav V'charecha. He says the Anochi Lo Yadati. Oh, but the person I pretended to be, this is a sheker. Maybe I'm not going to be Zoichet to tap into the levels of Kedusha. Zok Yaakov. Wait, you should say Ani Lo Yadati. No. Anochi Lo Yadati. I just left the house. I pretended to be to my father Anochi. That's what I'm worried about. Avada the Ani of Yaakov will know this is a holy place. But the Anochi that deceived my father, which is why I stole the brachos and had to leave. That Anochi Lo Yadati. Now he was able to see the two, that even though he put on the deceit, even though he put on the facade and the camouflage clothing of an Esav, now he sees the what? Now I see, Yesh Hashem Anochi, that I didn't know that my Anochi would be Zeicha to get to this level even after my Maisa Anochi, Kamash Malon, even now was able to see the Giloy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Efshar Ba'ofen Drosh, that was Yaakovinu's Kavana, Anochi and Alochi, have a Gavaldig Anaita by side, Gavaldig Hashamas Kodesh HaPev.
We go to yeshiva to learn. That's Torah. We seek closeness to Gedolim. That's Torah. We daven for inspiration and v'sein chalkeinu b'sorasecha. That's Torah. We come up with chidushim in our own learning. That's Torah. Maybe. Share your chidushim. Send your original Torah pieces to torahmaybe@gmail.com or email that address for more information. Also visit www.youtube.com/@torahmaybe.